And you know what that means. Ringside Heat is on the air on News Talk Saga 960, your favorite podcatcher, and Fridays on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lex Tan, host and producer of the show. You can follow me at Lex Tan Media. You can follow the show at Ringside_Heat. It is our WrestleMania Fallout episode. 2 nights of WrestleMania over Easter weekend, and my goodness gracious, Colin Dodge over to the right of my screen right now got to stream all of it and watch all of it on stream all by himself.
No,
well,
not
on
night one.
I didn't finish my thought.
Okay.
He was there on all by himself on the Saturday with Jose Taboada as well on the Sunday, joining him as Chico and myself were just absolutely pooped from 3 days of intense Easter celebrations over at the Newman Center in Toronto. My goodness gracious!
How dare you use Easter how dare you use it as an excuse for the Jew?
I sacrificed my full attention to game 1, and you're talking about Easter? Oh my God.
Oh no, we're talking hockey again. Horrible.
I don't wear this hat just for shows and good looks. Okay, I believe.
Three of these hats belong together. Colin's got a Toronto Maple Leafs hat. Jose's got a Toronto Blue Jays hat. Chico has a Toronto John Cena hat, and I've got my Lexington Legends Kentucky hat. So, one of these things is not like the other. But hey, Colin Dodge at Risen72, at KanjiraCast, Jose Taboada at Taboada93, and at Jats on Base, his Blue Jays blog, and for Chico Newgid at Coca Collects, and you can follow his wrestling memorabilia collection and a whole bunch of other memorabilia collection on that particular Instagram handle. And he's got the WWE Undisputed Championship toy belt right now, which is now in the possession of John Cena, the now 17-time world champion. And we will be talking about that a little bit later, because there's a lot of meat in that bone, even though in the moment there didn't seem to be a lot of meat in the bone, which contributed. It's all ironic and all that sort of stuff. But hey, you know what? I want to go around the horn first of all right now, just before we go to break. And I want to ask each and every one of you right now, what is your grade for WrestleMania 41? Personally speaking, if I consider WrestleMania X7 as a 10 out of 10 and WrestleMania 40, which we attended last year, say for Colin, as a 9 to a 9.5 out of 10, I'm going to have to give this one a 7.5 to an 8, resulting in about a B plus for me. So, Colin, what did you give this one?
Oh, you graded it a Daniel Bryan. Okay, interesting.
Yes.
B plus, player.
Hold on. Anyway, I'm not trying to be contrary. I know I do that like 99% of the time on this show, but I don't like grades, stars, numbers, all that kind of stuff. But I don't like the 2-night thing. I enjoyed night 1 more than night 2, and it was fine, and it had moments. And all of the WrestleManias except for 17 is the only complete one for me. Everything else has just been moments, right? So it was good. And I'm coming back after 3 years, Again, there's a lot of the roster I don't know, even a lot of the longer term buildup. I have massive gaps in and all that kind of thing. So, but yeah, it was good. I did miss the magic of WrestleMania. I don't know if I felt it as much as I used to or anything, but yeah, it was good.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things I said after night 1 with Colin, when we were, when I hopped on the live stream, is I think WrestleMania 41 is this generation's WrestleMania 18. Now, I'm not saying that because WrestleMania 18 is my favorite WrestleMania, but WrestleMania 18 had a very, very, very tough act to follow. Mm-hmm. It really did. It's no matter, and for what it's worth, it was a solid show. And bias aside, I still give it an A and A minus WrestleMania 18, because I still think it was solid throughout. Obviously, the match placement will forever be debated with that WrestleMania, but it was still a solid show. So that's kind of like the lens I went into this WrestleMania in Las Vegas this past weekend. That said, I had a feeling it was going to be tough to follow last year, and unfortunately, I don't think it did. I had a feeling it wasn't going to live up to the hype that 40 did. I think there was a lot of questionable bills. I think there was a lot of moments that I think even had I've seen some like reaction going, oh right, WrestleMania is around the corner. Like I think the hype that we got last year wasn't around this time, and this is coming from the biggest WrestleMania fan out there. So I thought night one was a little slow, and I think it picked up near the end with the main event. Spectacular night one finish, one of the best finishes to a night in this 2-night format.
Mhm.
And then night two again, it kind of carried over into night two, and that first I think couple hours of night two was extremely strong. I was jumping up and down. I was screaming at home, and I'm going, this now we're back in that magic of WrestleMania. And then that final hour hit, and I think it kind of unfortunately brought everything down. So with that and the combination of like night one feeling like it throughout the night itself, it had to pick up. I'm gonna say a C, no higher than a B minus if I had to, because night two was strong for the most part, and that would translate to about a 6 out of 10. I don't know if I can go 7, but I think 6 for me is where I'm at with this WrestleMania. And again, I know we're going to bigger details as the show progresses, but unfortunately, I think that's where I'm at. But I'm happy that we went through another Mania weekend. Still my favorite weekend of the year. So I smiled, had a great time working my special WrestleMania shift at work, and now we are at the time of this recording 354 days away to New Orleans. So
There we go.
let's start the countdown.
Chico.
Okay. This is a tough one.
It's
to
tough.
grade.
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one to grade. I'm gonna say I like night one more than Jose sounds like he did. I'm a little closer to how Colin felt about night one,
Mhm.
where I did like some of the moments in there.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I mean, some of it kind of coasted. Like it was decent.
Yeah, maybe
I
I'm a
like-
bit harsh. Maybe I'm harsh, but I get what
that's
you're
all
saying.
right. You can
I get
have
what
your
you're saying.
opinion. That's fine. We
Yeah.
could be a little bit different on it.
Mhm.
Where I know I'm different with you, I know we're gonna go match by match a little bit, and they're supposed to be really brief. But I'm just trying to like fill this up in my head so I can justify my own letter grade. I like the opening of night one. I think more than you did, Jose. I'm pretty sure.
Fair.
Mhm.
Fair.
I did like that Jay made Gunther tap to his own finish and everything. I think that was really like a solid way to at least the very finish of the match. And then yeah, some of the matches kind of coasted. Night one finish was great,
Oh,
fantastic.
phenomenal.
Beautiful.
Oh my god.
I do have one like pretty, well, not that big of a gripe about it. That isn't necessarily what actually happened. Anyway, and then night two, what an opening match! Perhaps
Yes.
the match of
One
the
of the
weekend for the 2
best.
nights.
Mhm.
Perhaps. Like I'm gonna leave that for later. And then yeah, the matches were really good on night two. Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. And then the night two finish was, and having watched it just now again right before recording, I did like the match. It's just the finish was, the Filipino word is bitin, which is it
Anticlimactic.
left me wanting more.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
That's where I'm at.
that's what I felt. Just the finish, because watching the match back, I actually liked the match.
Mhm.
All right, because heel Cena was doing some heel Cena things,
Oh yeah.
which
Oh,
we
yeah.
have not seen in 22 years, and he added some new heel Cena things. But yeah, it was missing one pretty big boss. Anyway, so I'm gonna overall be right in the middle of Lex and Jose and say an actual B, not minus, not plus. I'm gonna go right to B.
Alrighty then.
So
There
about
we
a
go.
7 out of 10 ish. I think you would
About
say.
7, yeah, about
Mhm.
7. I think I did say that before, and that I kind of
Yeah.
stuck with that overall.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
there you go.
Well, we're going to see if our grades are either number grades or letter grades change later on at the end of the show when we discuss the card in a little bit more detail. But we're going to save that for after the break. Night one, we're going to start with that when we come back from these commercial messages on Saga 960 AM. Back after these promotional considerations.
Don't you say fiend.
Under all the lights, with only everyone, he's looking for one single face.
Welcome back to Ringside Heat on News Talk Saga 960 AM, your favorite podcatcher, and on YouTube, Lex Tan, Colin Dodge, Jose Tabuada, and Chico. And you ignored what Chico said before we get the break, didn't you, Jose?
He set me up for it. I'm like, okay, let me find Lex's pause and go. Just go. Sorry, Lex. Follow the show at Ringside_Heat just in case. Just follow the show.
Serenity now. Serenity now.
Oh man, if we're gonna letter grade the WrestleMania theme songs,
oh goodness gracious!
I mean, if you want to, straight to F. That's fine. Both. Sorry, weekend.
Again, when you have WrestleMania 17 and My Way by Limp Bizkit, underscoring the match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. My goodness gracious!
Can I say on that note? Can I shout out the fan on Monday Night Raw on the hard cam side who had a sign that said "My Way" over Fiend, which was hilarious. There was that sign, and that same fan had a sign for some reason that said Hogan fears unions. I don't know what, but I don't know, but
that one, but yeah, you go ahead.
So that was, I'm just calling what I see, folks. I'm just calling what I see. I see.
Wow, Hulk Hogan, that fan came for you. Jeez. Night 1 WrestleMania on April the 19th. We're going to start off with Jey Uso defeating Gunther by submission for the World Heavyweight Championship in a match that took 16 minutes and 30 seconds. I would say, like you, Chico, I think I like this match a lot more than Jose did. I was I watched it before I drove over to your place because on Sunday after the whole after Easter celebrations had been finished, and I was entranced. I was entranced by the match. I liked the match on the whole. I even liked the finish. I liked the idea that Jey Uso did defeat Gunther by submission, and it was a clean thing, no interference or anything.
Gunther's hold too.
Yes, exactly.
I would have started it off not with a collar and elbow tie up though. I would have started it fist flying. Yeah, just because of the bitterness.
Yeah,
that had been built up. And you saw how robotically serious Jay's been getting the past 3 weeks. Like, I mean, there's different psychological routes you could go where Jay refuses to lose control so that he can focus to finally win the big one against Gunther. But really, man, he bloodied up your twin brother. You know, not that that's not happened before. I mean, the bloodline did all sorts of stuff, so retaliation would eventually come. But fist flying, man. Like, don't give me a proper wrestling collar and elbow tie up to start it.
And that's why I'm a little bit bugged with the match. Okay. First of all, I don't even think I said in the first segment that I wasn't a fan of the match. I felt like I got singled out there.
No, I was saying that like you were more critical than I was.
Yeah. So
a little more critical.
I'm sorry, Chico. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I don't know if you had any other...
you go ahead, man.
So yeah, I think the match was fine, and the submission choice surprised me. And again, Gunther tapping out was a shock, and I understand that it's happened before with Dragunov. I understand it's happened before, and again, it was a quick tap out. It almost is like Gunther can't take a taste of his own medicine kind of thing, which again, I'm fine with. But I think that's why I'm a little bit down and a little bit more critical on the match, because Chico just said everything for me. Since Jimmy, and again, I said this last week, the build up to this match was extremely slow, and to the point where we're going, let's just get it out of the way. And then Jimmy came into the picture, and it finally flipped that switch and that toughness that we wanted to see from Jay, because he was facing a dude he was 0-3 against. I'm speaking from kayfabe vibes, by the way. And out of context, a lot of my talking points tonight will be about just the match itself, not what comes before or after. It's going to be specifically the match, just in case. And that's why I was, like I said, that's why I was bugged about this match, because I think I expected a little bit more intensity, and to steal Steve McConey's words, one of our friends of the show, so to steal his words, he said it best. So I want to quote him. If Jay held on longer, or if Jay showed way more aggressiveness, I think this match comes out stronger because of what happened to Jimmy. And I think that's what I was missing. Like I said, the elbow tie up, the lockup, I didn't see the purpose of it. I would have rather seen Jay swing and go hard, almost to the point where he has to control himself to calm down, but he can't because his brother was seriously hurt. If I saw that aggression, I think I would have been okay with it. The decision to tap out is what it is. I get it. You don't want like a guy like Gunther like tapping out like that on the biggest stage, but I think it made sense. I think the using Gunther's move was a smart idea. So I'm not completely bugged on that. Like I've seen some people are because they're saying, Jay is not Dragunov. I'm like, well, okay, fine.
Well, he's not
But
Dragunov.
exactly. So the match was fine. I just needed more of Jay's anger in that match.
Let's continue on with we got the New Day defeating the War Raiders for the World Tag Team Championship. Decent match and everything. Nothing too much to write home about, at least in terms of interest for myself. It just continues. It continues though this good story that the New Day has going on. I was hoping a little bit of Big E, but in this possibly, but didn't happen. So
That's what I was missing. And honestly, I genuinely wished like this was a Monday Night Raw match. This is not a Mania match. And I said again, I was saying last week that if this match is here, it's because something big is happening because it's WrestleMania. And no, Big E once again doing the pre-show and the post-show. I wish I had the TLC match instead, and it would have elevated night one. Because and I heard some people saying, oh, but it wouldn't have gotten enough time that it will on SmackDown. Yes. Because a 15-minute TLC match never ever made it as a standout at a WrestleMania. Never, ever, right? Never.
Not even once.
Not a single time.
Oh boy.
Colin, I got to ask you about the next match over here. Jade Cargill defeating Naomi by pinfall in that grudge match they had. What did you think of the match as a person who's been following Jade Cargill since the AEW days?
Oh, I absolutely loved it. It was great to see her back. I almost wish it was I thought it would be more leaning towards Jade. It was good. I like Naomi since her first title run. She really impressed me the very first time she had a good, decent title run. I think it was the SmackDown title way back when. And so, it's great to see her in a top role like this. I just had assumed because of the story leading up to it that it was I was thinking like 70-30, just Cargill just walking through her the entire match kind of thing. But it was good that Naomi fought back more than she did because you don't want to make her too weak either, right? But no, they both did fantastic. So happy to see Jade wrestling again. And it was great. The finish made sense and everything like that. Obviously, this kind of thing isn't going anywhere. And just even some of the promo lead-ups and stuff that I've missed, like Naomi's really at her top level. I don't think I've seen her this good before. So it was great. And I'd be happy to see like 3-4 matches with the two of them. Should end in a steel cage or Hell in a Cell or something. I don't know if you want to go that big, but steel cage at least with those two, that would be great. Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I appreciate what you said about Naomi as well, because I know this time last year Chico was saying that it was a little bit too early for Naomi to get to where she was, whatever like that. She needed a little bit more time maybe in TNA, but now yeah, exactly. But she's really she really has stepped up her game here. So really happy to see that. Jacob Fatu defeating LA Knight for the WWE United States Championship. Expected, and it looks like everybody's giving it a thumbs up as well. So hey, Jacob Fatu, glad to see it.
Well, all right, I have to cut in for this. For those who saw on the stream, I debuted my first in a super long time new WWE merch. Oh. And it was, of course, Jacob Fatu's shirt, the red one. With
yes.
Great shirt, by the way.
Now, and the last time I got a WWE merch shirt was way back when. It was also red. It was the Big Evil shirt. That's how long ago. That's the last time I got WWE merch. So if that doesn't tell you how much Jacob Fatu should just have all the belts, retire Cena, retire Orton, retire Trips, everybody. It's Jacob Fatu all the way. Anyway,
I'm sorry.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Big Evil was the last WWE merch shirt you bought.
The red.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the 2000s.
You haven't had a new WWE merchandise shirt since John Cena was last healed.
I went crazy lately
About 22
because
years.
I've been on a weight loss kick I've got like 5 AEW shirts.
Very nice.
Because I'm losing again. And but yes, this is the first WWE merch that I've been able to get. And
Yeah, 'cause
I'm
it's
very
about-
close.
about
The next one I
03.
want to get is that Bret Hart hoodie that KO keeps wearing.
Yeah.
Oh,
That'll be
that's
my
beautiful.
Next one, but
Colin,
I
I
gotta
want
trim
that
down
one.
a bit more for that one. But yeah,
Yeah, me too.
but yeah, that's the last time I bought WWE merch.
That's crazy. The entire
crazy, right?
Cena face run.
Gee.
You know who? According to my closet? Yeah, exactly.
The entire Cena.
It goes from Taker to Jacob Fatu.
Nice.
El Grande Americano defeating Rey Fenix by pinfall in a match that took 7 minutes and 55 seconds.
Another AEW star. Yay me. Sorry.
I honestly I am so I'm so entertained by this whole El Grande Americano gimmick that's going on right now, and the and just the way that it's they're putting that across, especially with El Grande Americano being dubbed over by being dubbed over on English with
Yes.
and all that, and just the story is hilarious, the gimmick's hilarious, and it was great to see Rey Fenix debut in the WWE at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's insane that after a couple weeks in the business, all of a sudden, and this is how you know you're extremely trusted, and they want something good for you if they immediately put you in a WrestleMania spot within a couple weeks. So, congrats to him on his debut. I do kind of wish that he didn't get
overnight success.
I do kind of
Rey Fenix is brand new for a lot of people, but oh my god, he's been around forever. But
Oh yeah,
I do kind of wish that I will say that I did wish it was Dragon Lee instead, because I didn't want Rey Fenix taking a loss like that soon because it's WrestleMania.
Mhm.
But again, he was showcased,
And it's Chad
so
Gable.
it was completely fine. And I hope that Chad Gable one day will get a spot like that soon.
Just quickly, I will say that I am pleasantly surprised at how much actual luchador type stuff El Grande Americano pulled out.
Yes, yes.
I knew that whoever it is under that mask could probably pull it off, but to actually show us some actual Mexican wrestling type
backwards 450 was nuts.
My god,
he must have been trained by El Generico. It's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, I think it was this match, by the way. I was also pleasantly surprised that the Vikingo got in a WWE ring at WrestleMania.
Did he go to the ring?
Of course.
No, he didn't go to the ring.
He was ringside.
Yes, he did afterwards.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
in the ring.
yeah,
He was checking on Rey Fenix. So
Yeah.
Well,
that was a long time coming though, but yeah.
Well, of course, that is on the heels, and obviously we don't have time to talk about it. But the massive news about WWE acquiring the AAA Lucha Libre promotion, and how that whole family is they're all now one big family, which is insane. What a massive, monumental announcement during the pre-show Saturday afternoon. So, congrats to WWE, congrats to AAA, and obviously there's gonna be some changes coming, and I'm curious to see how they'll integrate it, but it really is kind of great that WWE will be more invested into the Lucha Libre style. So it's that is exciting, extremely exciting. So Vikingo there was nuts.
Well,
You're right, was absolutely
just to wrap that up with a button is for the AAA news, for Vikingo showing up, for El Grande Americano, and a pleasant surprise that he was. I just want to say gracias.
Yes. Tiffany Stratton defeating Charlotte Flair by pinfall to retain the WWE Women's Championship. I think obviously that Tiffany Stratton was the right decision to keep the championship. I did not want to see Charlotte win this one, and
I did.
Okay. Okay. First of all, I'll say why, because I don't think Charlotte needs the belt. I think Tiffany is good with it, but at the same time, I also think Tiffany might have also benefited from another chase. However, what do you say? Why did you want to see Charlotte win?
Just real quick, just like I've said before, I've already said it before, so I don't really need to harp on it too much. Pardon me. I believe that Charlotte should have won this, and Tiffany should have gotten it back at SummerSlam, since it's a huge two-night debut of the two-night format for SummerSlam. To me, overall, adding even more to Tiffany's rise to prominence. However, I was also okay with what happened at Mania for this match. So could have gone either way for me. I would have rather had Charlotte win just for that the get back for Tiffany. But the way the build was going, I think overall this was the right call.
Yeah, that's
Overall.
that's what.
But just because of the way the build was kind of weird now, so
Yeah, unfortunately, I think the build potentially hindered the result a lot. But I think Tiffany was the right winner. Great Barbie themed entrance, by the way.
oh my god,
Yes.
yeah.
On Saturday night, and again, a lot of great WrestleMania entrances, I think, throughout the weekend.
Yes.
But I thought the match went a little too long. But I think it could have been a little bit shorter than what it was. But yeah, the right winner, and Tiffany is a tough one for carrying on with a busted tooth. Good Lord.
And a lump on her head. I saw that too.
What a champ! What a champ!
Grit.
And then the main event of night one, Seth Rollins defeats CM Punk and Roman Reigns by pinfall. 32 minutes, 55 seconds, triple threat match with Paul Heyman turning on both CM Punk and Roman Reigns and siding with Seth Rollins. My God, what a match. Amazing wrestling, first of all, but at the same time, great storytelling, all three of them. And just, I have nothing but great things to gush about this entire match and this entire feud with everybody. And look at Chico over here with his Paul Heyman Hall of Fame shirt that he got last year at Mania 40.
Yeah, one of the best WrestleMania triple threat matches of all time, which is crazy because we had another spectacular one the following night.
Yes.
Oh man, I look, even if it was predictable that Heyman was gonna line with Rollins, you still can't believe it's happening. That's what's the magic about it.
Yep.
Sometimes when like your prediction is actually coming true, you're going, holy heck, and you're excited where to go. And of course, Monday Night Raw proved that. But just a great, it's just a great like 5 minute cinema there. Heyman, what a weasel. But I said this in my article. This solidified, if it wasn't solidified already, that Paul Heyman is the greatest wrestling manager of all time. There is no contest anymore. I'm sorry to Bobby Heenan. I'm sorry to Jimmy Hart, to Mr. Fuji, or any other managers from the 80s or the 90s.
I'm sure they would all agree with that. Paul Heyman is the greatest. He's the GOAT.
It's Paul, but phenomenal close to night one.
Yep. I will say that the one gripe that I mentioned earlier that I alluded to was this. I wish that they did not allude to Seth possibly turning Heyman at all.
I agree.
The whole like not choosing not to stomp him, and now you owe me a favor. That wasn't necessary to me.
No, and it felt like you knew what was coming. And
it was
unfortunate. It still hit the moment. Was still impactful, but actually no, I can't say it was like a little extra oomph because there was a lot of like holy heck. Yeah, but yes, definitely. I agree with you. You're right. You're right.
I was like, because the only person that I had heard beforehand really mention it at all in all of the podcasts and everything was Bully Ray had thrown out a what if. Like, what if Paul Heyman screws both Punk and Reigns and chooses to side with Seth Rollins? And I was like, that would be amazing. But to me, it's like, I don't want to see that on TV until the actual swerve, you know? But they did it. They telegraphed it, and it still hit. So at least it wasn't like it didn't chip away at it all the way. So yeah, great finish. Yeah, I agree.
I'll say this is one of the few matches of both nights where the match itself, the actual wrestling, was on par with the story, the finish, like all of it. Like I was down for all of it. I found a lot of matches where it was the match itself, the wrestling itself didn't matter. We just wanted to see what happened at the end. Right. Yeah. And that, to me, that includes Cody and Cena. We'll get to that. But yeah, this is one of the few where it's like the match was fantastic. It's a triple threat. I know it's easy to say, well, it's going to be good or it's going to be bad. But with triple threats, they're either extremely good or extremely super choreographed, and you can see everybody stepping into their marks at every second, right? Where if you do it fluid enough, it looks like everything is perfectly organic, and that was this match. So yeah, this was definitely one of the few ones. And I mean, sure, yeah, it's easy to say, well, the ultimate thing would be Heyman beats everybody and goes with Seth. So, and that's what happened. But to me, it was still the most exciting because every outcome made sense. And was just as interesting as the other, to me at least, and makes you tune into Raw to see the aftermath of it. So no matter what happened, you were just as amped for the follow-up on Raw. So
yeah, it was one heck of a follow-up.
Oh,
the payoff for it on Raw was amazing.
Ringside Heat on News Talk Saga 960 AM. We're going to take the break, and we are going to come back with night 2 analysis, starting with the triple threat match for the Women's World Championship between Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley, which is a banger of a match as well. Back after these promotional considerations.
Under all the lights, with only everyone, he's looking for one single face.
And welcome back to Ringside Heat on News Talk Saga 960 AM, your favorite podcatcher, and on YouTube, Lextan at Lextan Media, Ringside Heat at Ringside_Heat, alongside Colin Dodge at Risen72, Jose Tabuada at Tabuada93, Chico at Coco Collects, and now we're into night 2, starting off with Io Sky retaining her Women's World Championship by defeating Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. My goodness, what a match between these 3 amazing competitors, and beautiful way to kick off night number 2 of WrestleMania.
This opener should be in the same category or with the same company as Brett and Owen at WrestleMania 10, Triple H and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30. There is no doubt in my mind that was one of the best WrestleMania openers to a night of all time. What a match. Unbelievable. Fantastic. From the 3 of them, and the right result the crowd was just so behind Io at the end of the day, and just well done. But that is in Brett Owen territory. Without
nothing too much more to add to that, other than it might have been as close to perfect execution for a triple threat match that I've seen. Lex is going to mention this, but Rock, Taker, Kurt Angle, Vengeance 02, I think you'd mentioned.
Yes, that's always been
triple threats.
Yeah, always love that one.
Standard. I think as far as WrestleMania triple threat matches, this was golden. Possibly the best for me. Triple threat match.
Amazing.
Very, very close to it anyway. I did enjoy the WrestleMania 20 main event as a triple threat. So that was one of my favorites.
I also want to shout out the WrestleMania 39 triple threat. Drew McIntyre, Gunther, and Sheamus.
Oh, yeah.
Also
banger.
a phenomenal triple threat. I don't want that ignored, but yes, the WrestleMania 20 main event is also.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so Io was the one that I picked right from the get-go because she's the only one that really needed the victory among the 3, even though the other 2... basically the other 2, like Rhea and Bianca, wouldn't lose anything by losing. So Io all the way, finish.
Everything to gain.
Execute. And I think it's hard to achieve what they did with the time that they had and being able to stay hot pretty much the whole match. Like, I don't think there was any room for drag in that first match.
14 minutes and 25 seconds. Yeah.
Hot all the way.
Yeah. Great time. Great. Great pace and the right amount of time used for that match. Drew go ahead.
Yeah, just to add, this was definitely one of the other matches that held up with the hype that went into it. You wanted to see it unfold, not just the result. And yeah, the absolute correct result. I'll even say this hit better than Uso and Gunther. Yeah, because for different reasons, that match seemed to be flat. I don't know. I had it in my head that the entire stadium would just be yeeting all over the place and the building would shake. And it was just like, oh no, it was just the section Uso was walking by. They were into it. So just weird things kind of fell flat. But this match was 0 to 60 like the whole time. So yeah, perfect.
Drew McIntyre defeats Damian Priest by pinfall in their Sin City Street Fight. Again, another good match, another fun match between these two. Love to see it and everything. And I would have been good with either one coming out with the victory, but Drew McIntyre ultimately probably, I think he was the better one to win this match.
Could main evented TV though too, although it was very good, but I don't know if it needed to be on the card. But yeah.
Solid Haas fight. Right guy went over. Damien wouldn't have been my pick at all. So right guy.
I echo. Yeah.
Cool. Dominic Mysterio defeating Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, and Penta in a fatal four-way match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Dominic Mysterio, the right person to go over on this match, and I mean, like the action was just insane from every one of these competitors. But the crowd was the one that surprised me the most because they stopped booing Dominic and they actually gave him a lot of face pops during the match, during his victory, and also in the post show. I very, very surprised, yet also pleasantly surprised, even though it is Dominic Mysterio. So yeah,
I wasn't surprised. I mean, I picked Dominic to win. I said it, and I don't know. I not like I don't think I heard any other social media reaction leaning towards that way, or definitely didn't heard me. But WrestleMania is about that time when you're ready for stars who you know will have a breakout, will break out in the future. It's their time to cash in. Dom was the only one in that match where you were waiting for the breakout moment. I think that's why everybody was cheering and excited for Dominic, because they knew that this was the time for him to start breaking out, and everybody got behind it, and it was just magical. What a crowd reaction even for him to run back into the ring after winning the title. When he had the title in his hand, he went back. He's like, no, I must be with my people. Perfect. Just perfect. If this is the start for a face turn or whatever, go for it. But it's time. It was time to strap the rocket, and I am super, super happy for the kid. Eddie must be proud.
Two things I knew was that Don was going to win. I wanted Penta, but I'm a Penta mark. But Don was going to win, and that Finn Balor was going to get pinned no matter who won.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
because that's what Finn Balor was there for. And also, this was the third match, and these only three matches where the wrestling was on par with everything else. I'd say even the wrestling even exceeded this match because everybody was absolutely on fire. It was very fluid, and for a four-way, I think that's even harder than for a triple threat. So,
for sure.
And sorry, really quickly, a shout out to Carlito, who rose from the dead and only to die again. God bless him. God bless Carlito.
God bless those poor people in the first 5 rows. That first row, hard camera side, man, those people had a rough night between Carlito and Stone Cold. Anyway.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just gonna roll my eyes at that lady, but anyways. Okay. Yes, Dom, right guy, and as we saw on the follow-up on Monday Night Raw, it was Braun's time to lose and move forward.
Yes.
So it worked out so well.
Yes. Randy Orton defeating the Open Challenge competitor who turned out to be the man Joe Hendry with a RKO out of nowhere. Nothing too much more to say about this match except congratulations to Joe Hendry for his first WrestleMania moment against one of the greatest of that of this generation. Hey, there's nothing more you could say except I believe in Joe Hendry, but I also believe in Randy Orton. Let's move on to Logan Paul defeating AJ Styles, and of course, we don't have Colin's not going to talk about Logan Paul or anything like that, but I will talk about AJ Styles.
I was watching the Leaf game. I didn't even watch it.
Well, hey, at least 1-6-2 that night, so why not, right? AJ Styles and Karrion Kross have something going on, and if anything comes out of this matchup, it's Logan has to get the victory over here. AJ Styles puts him over, but he also helped to put over Karrion Kross, which I think is going to be an amazing story between these two. So,
yep, agreed.
Lara Valkyria and Becky Lynch defeating Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez by pinfall. Good match, but at the same time, and it was nice to see Becky back and surprise the crowd and surprise the world with her return, only to have it reversed the next night on Raw. And so, yeah, I mean, like,
Not reversed by decision, but like the other team won it back. So I
yes,
mean,
exactly.
but, and then it leads to, I mean, people who didn't watch it, sorry, but Becky heel turn a day after her husband turned heel. So do you think Becky's gonna join Paul Heyman?
I hope so.
That'd be great.
I hope so. A Paul Heyman power couple.
Yes.
It's never been done. Go for it.
Well, no, hold on. Well, yeah, it hasn't been done in that way, but the Dangerous Alliance from WCW
Yes,
included
of
some
course.
great up and coming talent, but also had a woman.
Oh,
So
okay. I see.
there's precedent for it under Heyman, but a power couple like actually under Heyman, that is unprecedented.
My only wish was that all of what happened on Monday happened the night before. I think it
Ah.
would have had a bigger impact the night before. I'm fine with it. But I would have rather just have Becky turn on Liar at that point and just start off the heel turn on a bigger stage. Again, not that the Raw after WrestleMania isn't at this rate, and what a Raw after WrestleMania, by the way, the better one in recent years. But
Mhm.
I would have loved to see that that start the night before, and then let Becky either explain herself or let Becky go even more of a tyrant on Lyra the night after. But it is what it is. It still works. It still works.
Yep.
Mhm.
Well, I made Raw after Mania that much
Yeah,
better.
of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
fine with it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it works out. It works
Yeah.
out.
John Cena. Now let's see. I'll get to the meat on this bone over here. John Cena becoming the 17-time world champion by defeating Cody Rhodes in a match that took 21 minutes and 40 seconds with a little bit of interference from Travis Scott. And I will say this first of all. I like the actual in-ring product was very, very good. I loved that John Cena is able to bring another side of himself when it comes to these big matches. I mean, like we saw stuff that he never used to break out when he was with CM Punk, not just the Money in the Bank, but that Raw as well too. When he qualified to get twice in a lifetime with The Rock. But yeah, and I do understand where you guys are coming from about it being an anticlimactic finish, and as Chico said, kind of like you wanted something more. It was bitin, as we would say in Filipino. But overall, I was happy to see John Cena win the 17th World Championship. And the best part, and one of the best parts about the whole segment is the fact that John Cena comes out, no Titantron, just black and white, his
Love
name.
that.
Just
Love
his
that.
name, and one of the few wrestlers alongside Bret Hart and Bruno Sammartino and others I can't think of right now, but some of the very few who can make it at the grandest stage of them all just with his name alone.
Jose, what was this match missing? Go ahead.
Some boss.
The last one, some would say.
I think a final boss.
Ah,
Okay, I guess I'll start it off. So I'm happy for John. It's the right decision. I am. I didn't think that the match was as spectacular as Lex was putting out. I think that it could have been a little bit better. And I look, the next night on Raw, I think is great. I am happy to see where this goes. But I am the more I thought about this and the more I process it, I think the angrier I got with it because I don't understand. Look, this is gonna be weird to say because we were there. Elimination Chamber is pointless. Like you could have Travis Scott and The Rock, and if Cena were to turn heel that night, it still has the same impact. I think it does. Like The Rock and Travis, it feels like just another hijacking, especially after what we saw at last year's WrestleMania. And then it forced everything to pivot and whatnot. And again, heel Cena's fine. It's working. It's great. I would say. The Rock went on Pat McAfee's show Monday afternoon, and he was saying how he didn't want to be part of the whole thing. He wanted to be on the sidelines. He was watching it at home. He was nowhere to be seen because he says WWE's got this, which I agree.
Let Cena have his.
Let Cena have his own, and I agree. And I think since his first heel appearance in Brussels after Elimination Chamber, absolutely, Cena was carrying it. Cena was selling it. It was helping build this story. and it was phenomenal. But once Travis Scott's music hits, then you accidentally set a precedence of, okay, we know who's coming next because of Elimination Chamber.
Yes.
And so and for what it's worth, Travis Scott really did not do anything in the match.
No,
I didn't really see much of an interference. I didn't really see much of a jaw-dropping moment. Yeah, Cena was smiling, but you could take out Travis Scott and you still have the same result. And I think I would have rather seen like a bigger heel Cena. Yeah, use your weapons and let the ref stay down longer. Let Cena use his weapons. Let Cena get ruthlessly aggressive. It's I had to figure out how to play that.
Well said though.
Thank you. So I'm happy with the result, but yes, it felt anticlimactic for 17, and like maybe because it was 17, and maybe because it was WrestleMania, and maybe because the standard for endings has been set really high in the last few years, dating back to WrestleMania 39. I think I would have wanted maybe that impact of The Rock. I think I would have maybe wanted something of a moment where you're going like enough is enough. But I'm going on too long.
Chico, Chico,
Yeah.
and then Colin.
I'm gonna say to add to Jose's thing. If you're not gonna have The Rock at WrestleMania, he shouldn't have even shown up in Toronto.
Exactly.
If you want Travis Scott to come like after his Elimination Chamber thing and show up at Mania, I would even be okay with that. But just take out The Rock at all, like completely, because then like you said, you created that expectation where you need The Rock to pay that off. You don't bring out Travis Scott if you're not going to bring out The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
I think without Travis Scott, I think we would be fine.
Oh,
yes,
for sure.
That's unfortunate.
And yes, I wasn't thinking about it that way till now, but I agree, Jose. Even if they had Cena celebrating his chamber victory and then like celebrating with Cody at the end of his title retention, even like a low blow after hugging him there without The Rock, like weirdly cutting his throat, that would have hit just as heavy. Especially since now this is all, it's kind of Monday morning quarterbacking at this point though. But it would have hit just as fine, and it would have made Mania 41 feel better.
Mm-hmm.
If Rock was not going to show up at Mania, just don't show up. Just don't. He's inconsistent, and that's what's bothered me since Netflix debut.
Yes.
The inconsistency with Dwayne is starting to really anger me. I don't like it. So it marred what could have been an all-time classic to pretty good.
All right, Colin.
Two things. I said on the stream, the execution was subpar. The whole match, the ref bump, all of it. Travis Scott, big mistake. The result was correct. That I have no doubt about that. But I'll pose this question just to blow up the whole episode. Would it have been better if a la 17, Cena can't keep Cody down, and The Rock brings a chair to Cena to finish the job?
Yes, exactly.
I was just gonna say, but I wanted to let you talk, and I would have accidentally stole your moment, so I'm happy I didn't say anything. What if the turn was at Mania? Yeah, fantastic question.
Also, last thing that also made me like, like that's all we get. No receipt to Travis Scott. No receipt, no visible receipt. Yeah, he took a Crossroads, but
and he took forever to get down that ramp. He had to give that stupid belt a rub down first.
Yes,
Like, give me anyway.
yes.
I'm sorry.
And here's
all the run in for a reason.
Exactly. But I also would like to think that maybe, just maybe, The Rock pays it off over at SummerSlam. I know that I know that. Yeah, I know that it's. I know that it's a little bit anticlimactic to say that now with WrestleMania over and everything. However, I mean, like, I understand that this is also a long-term story. So so I'd like to see that happen at SummerSlam. If they don't do it at SummerSlam, then I'd be more infuriated at that point. But you know what? A lot of meat on these bones, and we are going to be talking about the fallout of this for weeks to come, because the WWE machine never stops, and neither does the professional wrestling machine on the whole, because we've got more pay-per-views coming up. TNA coming to Brampton the next month as well. So MLW at Maple Leaf Gardens. My goodness gracious. So yeah, we're going to talk about those things in the weeks leading up. But thank you to Colin, Jose, Chico, to all of you for listening, and follow us at ringside_heat. And interact with us there. Thank you so much for tuning in or clicking on the podcast and the YouTube stream, Ringside Heat. You remember the things you probably forgot.
Go vote.